Tuesday, and it's lovely to see you.
Paul, it's so good to see you.
So it's August 30th, 2022.
Yes.
What is happening?
Okay, so Apple reality is what's happening. So we're talking about Apple's mixed reality headset. So according to trademark filings, the headset is likely upon us. So it's rumored to allow for both augmented reality and virtual reality experiences and games. And that includes VR versions of Apple Maps and FaceTime, and maybe even based on Hollywood movies. Amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, there's a lot to consume here, a lot of potential. We've been excited about some glasses or a headset coming for a long time. It's possible that it might be announced this week. Apple have their Far Out event. Usually at this time of the year, they announce the new iPhones, sometimes other new devices and things that are happening. New watch probably, I think, is coming this year. But it's possible that glasses may be talked about too. The wording Far Out maybe suggests, if you read into it, an indication of the metaverse and everything that goes with it.
I think so, surely.
We'll see. If it's not this year, I think most commentators agree it will be within the next year or two, and 2023, if not this time round. Totally. But Apple are perfectly positioned to take advantage of the metaverse. I've got to throw in a recommendation for a book I've been reading lately called The Metaverse and How It Will Revolutionize Everything. This is by Matthew Ball. I highly recommend reading it. Talks about the metaverse, immersive experiences, how some of the tech companies are poised, who's perfectly positioned, who's working a lot harder. I'm looking at you, Meta. The future depends on this, and it's a fascinating book. So tell me, what's your top story from last week? What else is going on?
Yes, so Instagram is testing a Be Real clone feature that is going to challenge people to post candid photos
is it the same?
within 2 minutes.
Are we talking about the same thing as Be Real, copycats again?
Yes, and you may not be too surprised to hear, but Snapchat is actually rolling out a very similar feature. So I guess if you can't beat them,
BeStealin
them. Exactly.
All right, so my top stories are Starlink and T-Mobile partnership.
Yes.
Talking about direct-to-phone connections. They're saying in the next 3 or 4 years that the T-Mobile phones will be able to connect directly with Elon Musk's Starlink satellites, which is super exciting. Cool. It means no more dead zones. I'm not sure how performance-wise the connection is going to be, but for impossible areas to hit right now and to get connected in for emergencies in the middle of nowhere, I think it's fantastic. It's really, really cool. So that's top of my list. And then I think it's interesting to see that podcasts are coming to Twitter. Yeah. So Twitter touched on audio as well with their Spaces. Well, it's good. There's more information in our newsletter, so check it out. But this is fascinating, as well as a bunch of other stories. We couldn't cover everything, but we've got links in the newsletter that'll set you on your way. Very exciting.
Awesome. Very cool.
Okay, the stat of the week. What is it?
Stat of the week, guys, it is 100 trillion TTV. So Bitcoin has seen over 100 trillion in total value transferred over its blockchain since it was first created. Incredible. Wow. So Paul, speaking of Bitcoin, what else is happening?
So we're talking about what's happening in blockchain and some of the news out of India. There's a new web-based ride sharing platform. It sort of speaks to what is amazing about decentralization and blockchain. It's called Drife, and it allows drivers to subscribe. They pay a monthly subscription, so that's how the monetization works. But they get to set the prices. They get to decide who they pick up, when they pick up, and what the charge is going to be. So it hands the more power to the drivers. And again, this is sort of one of the key components of decentralization and why it excites me personally and a lot of other people. Cuts out the middleman, and it allows individuals of the ride-sharing movement to be able to set their own terms. So it's really exciting.
Super cool. I hope it comes to the US.
And I think there'll definitely be some version of it for sure, but they have obviously there's a lot to do to compete against Uber and Lyft and all those other companies that are really across the globe. There are huge stalwarts that are really making the moves here. So it's going to be hard to really beat them, but I think it offers a disruption that we're all looking for. So I love it.
Totally. Very cool.
So Kate, I can't finish without talking about what's happening at 3 Advance. We had a great summer here, but it is back to school. The kiddos are on the way back, but also some of our apps are going live finally. So we're talking about ARP Foundation's Experience Core platform that we've been building out this year. The Experience Core is amazing. It helps tens of thousands of kids throughout the country improve their reading through ARP volunteers, and we've created a platform not only to improve the management and scheduling of these sessions, but also run in-screen scheduling via the web. So super excited about that. And then one of our other clients, Curbside Kitchen, who we've worked with for the last 2 or 3 years as well, they are releasing a new version of the app that includes Campus Cash, allowing their students at their universities. They've got a bunch of universities up and down the East Coast. These students are allowed to pay for meals with their Campus Cash cards. So that connects with the app. It's directly connected to the what their parents put in their bank accounts. It's specifically only for food and drinks, and allows the parents to track what they're spending their money on. But awesome, it's really cool that we're allowing that to connect to the food trucks, and kids around across the East Coast are using Curbside Kitchen to order their food.
Yes,
awesome.
I wish I had that in college. That's so nice.
And the amazing food truck choices.
I know. Oh my gosh,
fantastic.
it's amazing. So cool. Well, awesome, Paul. This was a great newsletter. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll see y'all next week.
I'll see you next week, Kate. See ya.